This is Romy. I had something I wanted to share with you today because today is our whisper giveaway, and so I wanted to share a little bit about toxins and the harm reduction with toxins. And quite a few years ago, when we were doing our homeless ministry, we learned the term of harm reduction. And so one of the things that harm reduction is a set of practical strategies and ideas aimed at reducing negative consequences. So ideally, this is actually for people that are in drug addiction, and so they come up with different ways to be able to help people in drug addiction that will keep them safe until they can get the help that they need in order to move beyond addiction. So that stayed with me for a long time, and especially when we talk about toxins, because toxins are something that we'll never get out of our lives completely, but if we can figure out some ways to kind of develop or adopt the harm reduction attitude with that, I think it might help us a little bit. And so there's a couple of different things that I think about when I think about reducing the toxins in our life. And when we were dealing with the homeless, we loved them, and we really adopted that with the homeless that we were working with, because we wanted to come up with anything that would keep them alive. And one of those things is that I would pray for them to go to jail, so that's a little bit of harm reduction there. But the other part is that, with some homeless communities, they tend to drink mouthwash if they can't get anything else. So it's that education of, instead of doing that, drink beer or things like that. So, and when we love people, we're willing to do just about anything to help them. And that's kind of where we were at with some of that. So when it comes to toxins in our life, there's relationships, and then there's the physical toxins. And so I found this really cool quote the other day, and it said, "Let go of the people who dull your shine, poison your spirit, and bring you drama. Cancel your subscription to their issues." And so we know that there's people in our life that are going to be in our life forever, and we wouldn't have it any other way. However, there's sometimes their attitudes and the way that they look at life and different things like that kind of doesn't serve us in the way that we would necessarily want to live our life. And so the harm reduction in that would be to be able to really identify our boundaries with those people, and to really determine what we're going to let them speak into our life. So when we're having conversations with them, or we have interaction with them, then we really need to be on purpose about guarding our hearts and our minds and everything when it comes to what they may speak into our life. So if we go into it prepared, then that will guard us and protect us a little bit, and still be able to have them in our life. So it's just a matter of determining what kind of relationship we want with them. The other toxic relationships that we may have when it comes to that is sometimes it's just time to let them go. And I believe that everybody comes into our lives for a reason, and some of it's good and some of it's bad, and some of the bad and painful things doesn't mean that the relationship or the experience of the relationship is bad. Everything teaches us something, and I believe that everything happens for a reason. And so it's just a matter of paying attention and looking out for different things that are going on in our life, conduct ourselves with wisdom, and really listen and trust our hearts and our guts, and just move forward with that. And then we get to learn from everything. So that's the relationship part of stuff. The other part that I wanted to talk about is the physical aspect of the toxins in our lives. And so this is something that is relatively new to me. So I didn't really pay any attention to toxins or any of that stuff until I found doTERRA, actually. I found doTERRA when I had surgical menopause, and it totally sent my life into a tailspin, and it was really bad. And so that set me on a course of really doing some research on what happens to us and to our bodies and our minds and everything when it comes to hormone imbalance. And so one of the things that I found out is that toxins can contribute to hormone imbalance. How horrible is that? And so again, we can't get rid of all the toxins in our life, but we can take some steps to help to maybe reduce some of the toxins. And so again, that would be the harm reduction. So some of that would be, you know, when you're drinking out of when you're drinking water, honestly, you shouldn't be drinking out of a plastic bottle, but we all do it. I do as well. So you want to be very, very careful about what you put in your bodies. So there's toxins in water bottles. There's toxins and stuff that's really bad for you when you're eating processed foods. And so one of the things that I like to talk to people about when we're talking about getting a healthy gut and, you know, moving into the more healthy mindset is to get the white out of your life. And so that means, you know, try not to do the white sugar and the white breads and any of the processed food like that. So there's people that would be like, oh, no way. So when it comes to that, do one thing at a time. And I'm not preaching because I'm perfect, because trust me, I'm not. I got a long ways to go to get my body back into being as healthy as I want it to be. But it's one of those things that I've been paying attention to, is that it's just one thing at a time, and do what you can. And so I just saw Cresta's comment, which reminded me, because I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Cresta. Cresta has an amazing program that she does for all of us. And so she does some awesome education on all of this and nutrition and all of that. So if that's something that you're interested in, definitely get with Cresta Glazer, because she's amazing. So let me see here. I have some notes. So what I wanted to go into with, as far as the hormone imbalance stuff and making sure that we do everything that we can possible for that, is to pay attention to what you put on your skin. So some people think, you know, when it comes to the oils or different things, it really is kind of weird for them to think that they would put an oil under their tongue, or an oil in their food, or in their water, or whatever. But in reality, if you're breathing fragrance, if you're putting fragrance on your skin, anything that you're putting on your skin, you're putting that in your body. So you want to be very, very careful and cautious about what you're doing with that when it comes to your shampoos and even like the laundry dryer sheet stuff. That stuff is not good. I read an article a while ago that said basically if you can smell the fragrance and it is a synthetic fragrance, you are affecting your system. And so those are some things that you want to be careful about. So am I saying go out and get all of that stuff out of your life and never do it again? No. But what I am saying is that sometimes knowledge is power, and we can be a little bit more aware, then maybe we can get a little bit more of the toxins out of our life. And so again, it is the harm reduction part of it. So I wanted to share, since we're doing the giveaway for Whisper, I wanted to share my favorite perfume. There is actually one thing I wanted to share with you quick. I forgot. So on Mercola.com, there's an article that has a little blurb in there. And I thought that because we have some crunchy mamas, I thought they would, if they didn't know that you might be interested in knowing this. So synthetic musks, These are linked to hormone disruption and are thought to persist and accumulate in breast milk, body fat, umbilical cord blood, and the environment. So that's perfume. And so I want to make sure that, you know, it's good to just kind of get some of that information out there. Some people think nothing of putting perfume on their skin or spraying it in the air, and I have gone so long now without using perfume that when I walk into an environment where someone has a lot of perfume on, gosh, it can affect my sinuses, it can make my eyes itch, and there's just a lot of things that when you start getting the toxins out of your life, how you really start to notice when you're in an environment where it's not the most beneficial for you. It's kind of like I did this, I actually noticed this a long time ago. I actually do not eat apples that are not organic anymore. And it was actually by accident because I decided I was going to just experiment and just do organic apples because I was starting to learn about the organics, and there's the Dirty Dozen list or whatever. It talks about the different fruits and vegetables that you that are, if you're going to decide to go organic, to try and do a little bit here and a little bit there. So apples was actually on the list, so I tried it. And so I ate organic apples for a long time, and then all of a sudden that one day I had an apple and I wasn't even paying attention to it, and it wasn't organic, and I could taste it. I could taste, my tongue was burning. And so there's little things that, you know, if we really pay attention, once our bodies get used to it, it becomes very susceptible and aware when we do something different. And so that's with it. That's good to pay attention to. So I wanted to share with you my favorite perfume, and my favorite perfume is Whisper. I haven't used perfume in over 5 years because that was one of the things that I first learned when it came to education with the oils and all of that. Is have a system when we're putting it in our bodies and all of that. So perfume was actually one of the things that I. So the primary benefits of Whisper combines with each individual's chemistry to create a beautiful, unique, and personal fragrance. Provides a warming, musky aroma. So there's your musk. If you're a musk person, you don't have to do the synthetic musk. You can do Whisper, and that will give you the desired effect that you're looking for, the scent or whatever. Entices and intrigues the senses, and for me, it's relaxing. There's times where I don't put anything on for a while, and then I put Whisper on again, and it's like, oh, there's my friend. And so one of the things that I do with Whisper, so if you haven't seen Whisper, this is Whisper. It's a very small bottle, easy to carry, and so I just do a little bit on my fingertips, rub them together, and I put them on my ears. There's reflex points on your ears. Did you know that? When I first started doTERRA, I thought reflexology was actually like crazy and hokey, but I totally believe in it now. So I just put it on my ears, and I rub it down my neck a little bit, and then just smell it, and it's lovely. I love it. I really like it, and Mark really likes it. So I like it because it does do individuality when it comes to your own pheromones and your scent and all of that. So it just is another way to be just you, only you. Nobody else can smell like you now if you use Whisper. So one of the things that I wanted to remind you about in this is that if you haven't entered for the free Whisper, please go to my page and just enter to win for the Whisper. You'll love it. And then tonight at 7 o'clock Mountain Time, we have an emotions and essential oils class. So this is very low key. It's totally just information. There will be some information on there. Oh, there we go. There'll be information on there if you don't have an account or you don't know how to purchase products. You'll be able to do that. There's no requirement. If you want to just, get in there and buy a bottle of oil, it's totally fine. So there's no pressure on any of that. Total education, total get in there and share with people, and really kind of just get some information that some people may not have had, or it will give them an idea of what other things that they can share with people. So I hope this brought value to you. I kind of like Zoom better because I can see your guys' faces and we can chat and stuff, but this is cool too. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope to see you. Talk to you later. Bye.